Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who do not know me, or if it's your first time visiting my channel, hello, welcome. My name is Darian, and in today's video, I am really excited to do. So the other day, I posted on my Instagram page. If you're not yet following me on that Instagram page, I will post my name right here for you guys to follow. And on my Instagram story, I just went ahead and did like a little poll on there asking you guys if you guys wanted to see how I organize my binder, and a lot of you guys, nearly like, it was like 97% of you guys said yes, you guys want to see this. So here I am. I'm excited to film it because I know a lot of you guys have been asking. But if you are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe down below. Go ahead and like this video and click that little bell notification to be notified every single time that I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So I went ahead and brought both binders from block 1 and then block 2 right here. However, I'm not going to be going over every single one, okay? So I only brought this one just so you guys know, like, okay, you know, I have separate binders for each block. So this is my block 1 nursing lab, all of my papers from that class, okay? And then this is my block 2 nursing lab, okay? So I separate the binders, and then from there I have my block 1 binder here. So the front of this binder I actually created on my own. I really want to do like a little tutorial on this little form. It's just like a paper, but I made it from this app from online. So I think it's really cool. I was all fancy my first block of nursing school, which is funny because my second block, you can definitely tell, like, I just went ahead and colored it. So that is definitely the difference here. So the one I want to go over with you guys today is my block 2 med-surg and psychiatric binder. I like including the year in it because I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I am very organized. So when I pack all this back up, like, you know, in my little bins or whatever, I know that this is my block 2. I took this spring 2020, and it just makes my life a lot easier. So that's kind of the way I label it there, okay? So then opening up my binder here, I normally put my syllabus in the front of my actual binder. It didn't fit on the top of my binder this year. It was just way too packed. If you guys can see this, all of this paper, literally just from block 2 alone. It's been a crazy semester. So the next thing I want to show you guys is how I label my little tabs here. Okay, it's a little hard, guys, because it's a blank white paper, but it does say med-surg right here on the first tab, okay? And then once I open it, my next tab says psych right there, says nursing 104, and then this tab right here says clinical. So this one right here says clinical, and then this one says a lab. However, I did not include those classes in this binder. To get started with my actual binder and how I organize it, okay? So this first one is med-surg again, okay? So within this tab, it's all things med-surg, okay? I don't know if you guys can see this yellow little tab right here. This says exam 1, okay? And then I have the next one says exam 2 right there, and then exam 3, and so on, okay? So I like doing this because it keeps me organized when I need to go back and look for information throughout the actual semester, or even as I prepare for my final exam. So obviously, everything within the exam 1 tab is all from exam 1, okay? So this first thing in here, I'm gonna do a separate video on how I actually make my study guides, but this is my study guide in the front. So as you flip it, the papers after my actual study guide are literally just like random worksheets that I did on my own. I took them, you know, from another YouTube channel or wherever I took them, but these are just random papers that I use to help me study for my actual exam, okay? So as I flip through them, again, these are just random papers that I put right behind my actual study guide. So I like to do sheet protectants around my papers that I know I'm going to be using for not just this block, but for the blocks to come. So this little sheet I actually made all on my own. It's a little Electrolyte Imbalance worksheet. So then in the back of that, I actually just include you know, it's just like an electrolyte little cheat sheet for me, and it has all the electrolytes, all of the side effects, and if you have too much of a certain electrolyte, if you have too little bit. And then in the back right here I just kind of wrote, you know, like what are the electrolytes and what do they actually do. Okay guys, so then right after this worksheet here I have another paper, and this is also laminated. This is just all of my IV, it's a little IV solution cheat sheet here. We got handed this in class, and I know that I'm going to be using this for so many more years to come that I wanted to put it in a little sheet protected there. All right, so then that's literally all exam 1. It seems like a little bit, and trust me, it was a little bit. The exams that are going to be next, like 3 and 4, they have so much more work on them, which is kind of funny. But this next exam, again, how I told you guys, I just start off with the actual study guide that I made, just so I can flip through the study guide. This is how my study guides look. So I'm really excited because I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I actually make these beautiful study guides, how I study from them, and all of that fun stuff. So I am really excited for that. That's kind of just like a little rundown of how my actual study guide looks. However, it's not like my study guide video, so I don't want to get too much into detail with those, okay? Next, I just, again, how I told you guys, I have little random worksheets that are right after my actual study guides, and these were not assigned. These are just little worksheets that I got from Registered Nurse RN or Simple Nursing, even osmosis.org, like all of these fun little worksheets I love to do because they just help me study a lot more better, okay? So this is kind of something that I also want to talk about here. Those random worksheets that you guys seen that I was flipping through, great, you know, those weren't due. This, on the other hand, after those like random worksheets, on the first exam, I didn't have any drugs. Like we didn't do any drugs or learn about any drugs on the first exam, okay? On the second exam, however, we did do drugs, okay? And I just want to make it really, really clear on how I like differentiate this stuff. So, with the PowerPoints that my professor makes, she actually like post like a little slide that is focused on drugs, and then there'll be like 10 slides after that are strictly drug focused. On that worksheet, instead of, and I guess this kind of has to do with the study guide that I'm going to make, and I'm going to like show you guys how I make it. But on the study guide, I don't include any medications that she adds on the PowerPoints. This is strictly just the PowerPoint information. But once my professor jumps into pharmacology, on the other hand, I make these drug lists. I like this so much better because it keeps my information organized, and because there's so much to learn about a certain drug and the onset and the, you know, there's just so much to learn about a drug. I like it separate away from my actual study guide because I like to pull this up while I'm studying my study guide. Like say for instance, okay, so we're talking about lower respiratory tract drugs, right? We're talking about bronchodilators. But inside of the study guide, I will write like a big bold, you know, column or a line that says refer to the drugs acting on the lower respiratory tract. So then I will get this bad boy right here with my study guide, and I'll study like off of those together. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm going to kind of go more into detail when I show you guys how I study, and that video is to come. But for now, just know that I do separate my drugs and my actual like information from my PowerPoint. So this is basically like what my drug sheets look like, and this is also another drug sheet here. So on this paper, as you guys can see, I write, okay, what is the drug class? Okay, these are all anti-hyperlipidemics, okay? So then right here, I know these are going to be my reductase inhibitors and all in statin, right? So then I just kind of go down this little line from her PowerPoints from the book. I also grab information like from drugs.org and all that fun stuff. So the next one I have bile acid sequestrants, fibric acid agents, and then cholesterol absorption inhibitors, and so on and so forth. And I just kind of do that within all of my sections. So now we're on exam 3. Again, you guys kind of see a pattern going on already. This is just going to be my entire study guide, the study guide that I make. Once you flip it, I have all of those random, very, very helpful little kind of tools that I write off to the side. For now, that was my only helpful little piece that I took from exam 3. And then once you go after, these are going to now be all of my medications. So these are going to be my antiretroviral agents, my SLE drug therapy, my meds prior, like to use prior to surgery, general anesthetic agents, and all of that. So as you guys can see, my drugs again are just written on separate sheets, just like that. So now we're on exam 4 of my med-surg class, and guys, this was crazy. Like, this study guide was absolutely fat and insane. It was like over 100 pages long. So as you guys can see, they pressed a lot of information on our last exam, which was very stressful. But again, I just have that labeled exam number 4 right there. And here you have that entire study guide that I cannot wait to kind of share with you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that video. And then I do also label the top of my study guide. Right there, it says MedSurg Part 1, okay? So what I mean by this is if there is more parts to the actual like study guide, it just kind of helps me keep organized again. So then I flip that right over, and then on top of here I have, because the exam was like a lot of information, I had to separate the study guides because it wouldn't staple all together. So then this one right here says MedSurg Part 2, and then I make sure that I do label the top of all my exams. I just label them like Part 1 cancer and just kind of like the title there, which I will go over more into detail on my study guides. So then you flip that, and then once again, we have another part of the study guide. I'm telling you guys, this last study guide was full of so much information. So you guys can see right there, it says MedSurg Part 3, all right? So literally, there was 3 parts to my last, my freaking last exam, which was absolutely crazy. I feel like you guys already have an idea of what I'm gonna say. These, again, are all of my random little note cards. So then we get on and we move on to our psychiatric tab right there. So with this one, literally guys, I feel like it's just repeating everything that I just said, but it's the same way I organize everything, okay? And I like to keep it the same way across the board so I don't get confused as I'm studying. In the beginning, I do have just some like random worksheets that we were given at the beginning of the semester. Relevant, but that is basically what my binder looks like. I really hope this helped you guys in some type of way. And again, I really do recommend labeling your exam 1, exam 2, exam 3, exam 4, just because it will make your life that much more easier when you actually sit down and you know, like you have to reference a certain something throughout the year, you know, like those are there. All of these little blue tabs there, they do mean something as well, but I will go into those when I actually show you guys how I do my studying and all that fun stuff. So that is my crazy binder for block 2. As you guys can see, it is a chunky little thing. Alright guys, so that actually concludes the video for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and liked it. I know you guys have been requesting it for quite some time, so I was just like, honestly, Darian, let's just get to it. Let's just record it today and get it out there to you guys. So I hope and pray that you guys really liked it. I know that the camera was like, the lighting was reflecting really bad off all of the white inside of my actual binder, but I tried my best to explain what I was pointing throughout the entire video. So I hope you guys find it of a use, and you know, you guys can kind of use it to renovate your guys' binders or use it as a little resource, and you guys kind of got a little bit of ideas on how I organize here. So because that is all that I have for you guys today, I just want you guys to know that I appreciate you guys and I love you so much. And just like always, guys, have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. Be kind to one another and show lots of love. Love you guys. Bye.